Memorial Day weekend, we will rightly honor those who served our country and paid the ultimate price. But tonight, we're going to celebrate a National Guard colonel who survived an attack and is determined to help other veterans. What he learned about himself makes him a hero in the hospital.
And how do you feel?
When he was in college, Kenneth Lee got a call from his father. The conversation was brief and direct. His father, a Korean immigrant, did not approve of his son taking grant money to pay for tuition.
You will pay back the government somehow. You figure it out.
So to his father's pride and his mother's horror, he joined the National Guard and stayed in to help pay for school at the Medical College of Wisconsin. Dr. Lee re-enlisted and became Colonel Lee, the top medical professional in the Wisconsin National Guard. In 2003, his unit was called to Iraq.
We're more of a ER type of unit that can move around.
There were some close calls.
We had actual firefights come close to us.
But none closer than the one September 12, 2004.
Out of nowhere came a suicide car bomber straight to us and ran into our convoy. And then next thing I know, I wake up in the ER.
Dr. Lee cannot remember much of that day.
These are our own pictures.
And as he tours us around the VA hospital, is almost nonchalant about a photograph of the event that almost took his life.
This was minutes after the suicide bomber?
Correct.
He looks perfectly fit and strong, but there is a lasting effect from that September day. Dr. Lee suffered a traumatic brain injury. His short-term memory is quite weak.
If I don't have it down on my BlackBerry, even though my wife told me about 4 hours ago, it will be out the window. I've been going through a lot of notepads here. Luckily, a lot of my secretaries are constant reminders to me. They remind me about a lot of things.
Remarkably, his medical knowledge was intact, but things were not quite right at home. He was in denial about how much his injury had affected him emotionally, but his daughter sure wasn't.
The PTSD that I would constantly deny. As a physician, it was embarrassing to have that diagnosis. My daughter finally said, you don't smile anymore. It just, bang, it just hit you.
Lee, the doctor, knew he wasn't done being Lee, the patient.
Once you get the treatment, it's definitely treatable, or at least controllable, maybe not 100% treatable. And so I wish I would have asked for this treatment earlier.
It was his courage to get help and his candor in sharing it that improved his relationship with patients, all of whom have also served our country.
Does that help you have more faith in him because he's been there?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he's done it all. Yeah, great man.
I want to say I am a better doctor because of this. At least from a veteran standpoint, I'm connecting with these veterans very well.
And that includes bicycle therapy. Lee's injuries prevent him from riding upright, but he loves to ride and has made cycling part of his therapy and his patients. The message he has to all those injured in battle is to get back to doing what you love as soon as physically possible. His message to the military is more direct. Don't forget the families back home. They need help too.
I'm a product of war. Don't look at me as a casualty. I'm not a casualty. It's my wife and kids that are the true casualty. You created this when you sent me over to Iraq, so live with it. But if you want to take care of somebody, take care of the casualties back at home.
And Dr. Lee says things are great at home now since he got help for PTSD, smiles a lot more. But he knows a lot of veterans are reluctant to get help, and he hopes by telling his story that other veterans will overcome their fears about getting much needed treatment.
Yeah, hopefully that stigma, it's less than it used to be, but there still needs to be hopefully that erase that there's nothing wrong with getting help for this.
Absolutely not. Served our country. If you need the help, get the help. And he said, I just wish I got it earlier. You heard him in the story. He could have got along on the process of healing that much quicker.
And one more quick question, the cycling, is that physical or emotional?
That, well, it's an outlet. He wants patients to do what they love to do, and he loves to ride bikes. It's a good question, but it's also physical for him as he starts to heal.
Right.
He can't ride upright. He's got to ride a recumbent bike.
Got
Good question.
Good piece, yeah. What a great day to get out and bike ride, Vince.
Boy.